Following the shocking death of Heath Ledger in 2008, his daughter Matilda was a mere toddler, only 2 years old, leaving her with no personal memories of the extraordinary father whom millions across the globe revered and deeply mourned. Fast forward to 2026, Matilda Ledger is now a 19-year-old woman, gracefully navigating the threshold of adulthood while continuing to fiercely guard the sanctuary of privacy her family has so painstakingly constructed around her. Having been brought up almost entirely away from the intrusive glare of public attention, she is a living echo of her celebrated father. His unmistakable essence is visible in everything, from the curve of her smile to the quiet, resilient strength she exudes. So, what is the reality of her day-to-day existence now, living as the heir to the legacy of a cinematic icon who was tragically taken from the world far too early? To truly understand Matilda's world today, there are some crucial details about her upbringing and the people who shaped it that you absolutely need to know. Firstly, the fascinating story behind Matilda Ledger's godparents is inextricably woven into the fabric of profound friendships that were forged on the set of a groundbreaking film that would come to define a decade. It was back in 2005, during the filming of the critically acclaimed Brokeback Mountain, that Michelle Williams and Heath Ledger first crossed paths, and the spark between them was immediate and profoundly undeniable. While their on-screen connection captivated audiences, a genuine and private romance began to blossom away from the cameras, a relationship destined to permanently shape the course of both of their lives. Right at the heart of this beautiful love story, they celebrated the arrival of their daughter Matilda, forming a tight-knit family unit that, despite its privacy, was enveloped by a supportive and intimate circle of friends who were nothing short of family. Therefore, it seemed entirely natural and fitting that Jake Gyllenhaal, not just Heath's Brokeback Mountain co-star, but also one of his dearest and most trusted friends, was chosen to be Matilda's godfather. The bond between Gyllenhaal and Ledger extended far beyond professional collaboration. It was a profound friendship built on deep mutual admiration and respect that endured until the very end of Heath's life. For both Michelle and Heath, naming Jake as Matilda's godfather was the ultimate testament to the unwavering trust and the powerful, lasting connection they all shared. He represented a constant, stabilizing force in Heath's world, and they knew he was the kind of person who could provide invaluable guidance and steadfast support for their daughter, especially in the years to come. On the other side of this protective circle is Matilda's godmother, the actress Busy Phillips, who forged an incredibly close bond with Michelle Williams through a blend of shared professional experiences and deeply personal connections. While Phillips and Williams had initially met within the whirlwind of Hollywood, their friendship deepened and solidified over many years, strengthened by a foundation of shared life events, unconditional support for one another, and an unshakable sense of loyalty. Busy Phillips's designation as godmother is far from being a mere symbolic title. It carries significant weight and responsibility. This role embodies her profound and heartfelt commitment to both Michelle and Matilda, representing a sacred promise to always be a protective, guiding figure and a pillar of strength in their lives. In 2018, on the somber 10-year anniversary of Heath Ledger's untimely passing, Busy Phillips spoke publicly about the incredibly special and protective relationship she shares with both Michelle and her goddaughter Matilda. During a heartfelt interview with The Cut, she spoke with raw honesty, painting a vivid picture of the intense closeness that defines their bond. She confessed, "I'm hyper-protective of Michelle and her daughter," a statement that reveals the depth of her fierce devotion. This candid admission perfectly encapsulates the powerful, almost maternal love she feels for them, a connection that transcends the boundaries of ordinary friendship and enters the realm of family. Phillips went on to elaborate, further underscoring the profound nature of her connection with Michelle. She explained simply, "Michelle is my best friend and like my family," leaving no doubt about the significance of their relationship. These powerful statements highlight the extraordinary support system built around Matilda, a veritable constellation of fiercely loyal friends and loved ones who have assumed roles that redefine the very concept of family. Moving on, it seems that from the very beginning, Matilda Ledger was destined to inherit her father's incredible creative spirit. It was as if his artistic soul was woven into her very DNA. Her mother, Michelle Williams, has often spoken about the deep, almost spiritual connection Matilda shares with the father she never knew, a bond that is most evident in their shared adoration for the world of cinema. She's starting to understand more and more Michelle revealed in a 2013 interview with The New Yorker, as she reflected on the moment her young daughter began to truly comprehend the nature and significance of her mother's profession. Even from a very young age, Matilda possessed a charming awareness of the celebrated and iconic characters her mother had portrayed on the big screen. Michelle fondly recounted anecdotes of a young Matilda, enthusiastically telling anyone who would listen about her mother's magical performance as Glinda the Good Witch in Oz the Great and Powerful. Displaying the unfiltered earnestness that only a child possesses, she would confidently walk up to strangers in the park to proudly declare, "My mommy is Glinda, the Good Witch in Oz." She would then clarify with charming simplicity, "There's two bad ones and only one good one, and that's my mom." The immense pride and pure wonder radiating from those innocent words did more than just showcase Matilda's early grasp of narrative. It unveiled a blossoming fascination with the magic of filmmaking, a passion that forged a deeply personal and unique link to her father's own legacy. As Matilda transitioned from childhood into her adolescent years, her casual interest in movies evolved into a much more pronounced and serious passion. During her teenage years, she began to cultivate a sophisticated appreciation for the art of film, actively exploring complex narratives, character development, and the profound emotional impact of effective storytelling. Michelle frequently observed her daughter's burgeoning sophistication and keen understanding of the cinematic craft, noting how Matilda's curiosity was a mirror of her own passion for acting, yet it was uniquely infused with a whimsical imagination that remained a beautiful echo of her youth. More recently, in 2022, during a festive interview on Live with Kelly and Ryan, Michelle offered a charming glimpse into one of Matilda's seasonal passions, a deep love for classic Christmas movies. "We've seen White Christmas so many times," Michelle shared with a laugh, highlighting a cherished and frequently repeated holiday tradition in their household. She added, "Matilda loves those movies so much, and I'm excited to have her show those to the younger kids," expressing her joy about Matilda passing on this love for classic cinema to her younger siblings. These seemingly simple rituals, rewatching treasured films, discussing narratives, and bonding over powerful cinematic moments, became a meaningful avenue for connection between mother and daughter. Then in 2024, Michelle Williams provided an update, revealing how her daughter's affection for cinema had blossomed from a simple interest into a genuine and knowledgeable passion. In an interview with the New York Times, she explained that Matilda's taste has become remarkably sophisticated, noting, "Matilda watches movies from the 70s and 80s now." Michelle marveled, "She has this incredible understanding of film history that even I don't have," admitting her daughter's knowledge surpassed her own in some areas. She elaborated that for Matilda, "It's not just about watching. It's about deconstructing the art, understanding the nuances of direction, and appreciating the depth of the performances." This profound passion for the art of storytelling serves as an undeniable and direct link to the incredible legacy left behind by her father. Ultimately, it offers her a unique and poignant way to connect with and understand the father she was too young to ever truly remember, keeping his spirit alive through the art form he loved so much. For Michelle, this shared artistic pursuit offers a profound sense of continuity and deep connection, providing a cherished method to cultivate creativity and strengthen familial bonds, all while beautifully honoring the enduring legacy of Heath, whose own incredible passion for storytelling left a permanent and inspiring mark on their family's soul. It's abundantly clear that for Matilda, film is something far more significant than mere entertainment. It acts as a vital bridge, allowing her to understand her parents on a deeper level. It's a unique language through which she can connect with the world and process the powerful, living memories of her beloved father. Michelle herself alluded to this profound connection during a 2023 interview with The Guardian, when the topic of her most important audience came up. Without hesitation, she responded, "I'm sure it's my daughter. She is the person I have spent my adult life with." That powerful declaration speaks volumes, revealing not just the incredible closeness of their mother-daughter bond, but also illustrating the remarkable depth of Matilda's engagement with her mother's artistic craft. When Matilda watches her mother's work, she isn't just passively viewing a performance on a screen. She is actively bearing witness to a parent's unwavering dedication, a direct lineage of artistry, and a powerful ongoing connection to the father she never had the chance to fully know. And thirdly, here is a detail that many people are unaware of. In the face of her parents' immense global fame and the heartbreaking public tragedy of losing her father, Heath Ledger, Michelle Williams remained absolutely resolute in her mission to give her daughter Matilda the most stable and grounded childhood imaginable. From the very first moments of motherhood, Michelle embraced her new role with a profound sense of deliberate care and unwavering prioritization. She inherently understood that Matilda's crucial formative years would be shaped not only by the unconditional love of her family, but also by the relentless pressures and inherent unpredictability that come with life in the Hollywood spotlight. In numerous interviews, Michelle has frequently spoken about the incredibly delicate balance she continuously works to maintain. This is the balance between her demanding career and her sacred role as a mother, a tightrope walk founded on the principles of intentionality and fierce protection. In a July 2018 discussion with Vanity Fair, Michelle offered some rare insights into her personal parenting approach. She carefully explained that even with her hectic and often chaotic acting schedule, Matilda's daily routine has been kept remarkably and enviably consistent. She hasn't had her routine disrupted and hasn't missed class, Michelle proudly stated, underscoring just how critical she believes that kind of stability is for her daughter. Looking beyond the school year, Michelle makes it a non-negotiable priority to leave their summers completely open, deliberately creating an expansive space for completely unstructured time. These are precious moments where Matilda is free to play, to explore her own interests, and to simply exist as a child without the burden of schedules or obligations. I'm less scheduled, less regulated, less hustle, less go-go. I parent to let Matilda feel free to be herself, Michelle elaborated, perfectly summarizing a parenting philosophy that is deeply centered on fostering freedom, encouraging creativity, and building unshakable emotional security. Inside the walls of her home, the intense demands of Hollywood are deliberately kept at a safe distance, fostering an environment for Matilda to grow up in that feels safe, reassuringly normal, and incredibly nurturing, despite the truly extraordinary circumstances of her family's life. Michelle's profound and all-encompassing devotion to Matilda doesn't just shape their daily routines, it fundamentally influences her most significant career choices. Whenever filming commitments have posed a potential conflict with her daughter's well-being or schedule, Michelle has time and again made the courageous decision to step away. A particularly telling example of this arose in 2009 during the pre-production phase of Blue Valentine, an intense project that was set to pair her with the acclaimed actor Ryan Gosling under the visionary direction of Derek Cianfrance. While Michelle was incredibly eager to embrace the challenging role, she suddenly found herself confronted with what felt like an absolutely impossible choice. She could either leave Matilda for an extended period or be forced to abandon the incredible opportunity. Utterly heartbroken, she initially had to withdraw from the film, telling The Guardian it was because she could not be away from her daughter. But in a testament to their collective determination, Michelle and the production team ingeniously relocated the entire shoot. They moved it to a location that was within a 1-hour drive of her home, a masterful compromise that enabled her to fully pursue her craft while preserving the critical closeness and consistency her young daughter desperately needed. This incredible dedication is a powerful demonstration not only of Michelle's immense love, but also of her unwavering resolve to be a parent entirely on her own terms, steadfastly refusing to allow the ambitions of her career to ever compromise the foundation of stability she worked so hard to build. Heath Ledger's own family has consistently and publicly praised Michelle's parenting, acknowledging the truly extraordinary environment she has successfully cultivated for Matilda. Back in 2017, Heath's sister shared with People magazine, "I think that she provides such a wonderful environment for Matilda to grow up in, especially in the sort of industry that she's in." Her heartfelt words underscore what so many who know Michelle have witnessed firsthand. Here is a mother who is fiercely protective, consistently present, and profoundly attuned to the intricate needs of her child. Within the chaotic whirlwind of Hollywood, Michelle has miraculously managed to construct a true sanctuary, a warm and loving home where Matilda can genuinely thrive. It's a place far from the relentless glare of the public eye, yet overflowing with abundant love, gentle guidance, and unwavering support. And fourth, in a move that solidified his ultimate wishes, Matilda is set to inherit Heath's entire estate. A full 2 years before his tragic and untimely passing, Heath Ledger took very specific and deliberate actions to secure the futures of the people he cherished most by drafting a will that bequeathed all of his money and assets to his parents and sisters. This was a gesture that powerfully reflected both his remarkable foresight and his deep, abiding trust in his family's judgment. He was ensuring that those who were closest to him would be empowered to manage his complex affairs and diligently safeguard his artistic legacy. However, beyond all the practical considerations of wealth and property, Heath's most fundamental priorities were always rooted in his overwhelming love and concern for his daughter Matilda. Although the legal paperwork initially designated his estate to his immediate family members, it was always an unspoken and universally understood truth that their ultimate focus would invariably be centered on the well-being and happiness of the little girl who so beautifully carries his legacy forward into the future. In the heartbreaking aftermath of Heath's passing in January 2008, his family moved swiftly to make their intentions public, underscoring that Matilda's well-being was their single, most important focus. Just 2 months later, in March of that year, Heath's father, Heath Ledger, sat down for an interview with People magazine. In his conversation, he passionately emphasized the family's unwavering dedication to the little girl. Heath stated unequivocally, "Matilda is our absolute priority, and Michelle is an essential and cherished part of our family." These powerful words conveyed more than just a sense of familial duty. They radiated a deep and genuine respect for Michelle Williams, honoring her pivotal role as Matilda's mother and guardian. They will always be taken care of, and that is precisely how Heath would have wanted it, Kim went on to say, reinforcing the profound sense of continuity and honor that guided every decision they made in the shadow of their loss. For the entire Ledger family, the immediate concern had absolutely nothing to do with financial assets or material possessions. Their sole mission was to protect and preserve the loving, secure world of the one person who was the most tangible embodiment of Heath's legacy, his beloved daughter. Living up to their promises, the family took decisive legal action a few months later to cement this commitment. They made the public announcement that Matilda was to be the one and only beneficiary of Heath Ledger's entire estate. During another discussion with People, Kim articulated the family's reasoning with absolute clarity, leaving no room for doubt. He explained, "Our family has gifted everything to Matilda. That was the unwavering plan from the very moment my dear boy passed away." He continued with emphasis. There was never any debate or question that Heath's estate would go directly to Matilda. Never a single question. This definitive statement carried more than just the finality of a legal arrangement. It held the emotional weight of a family deeply committed to honoring their son's wishes and the incredible bond he had with his child. The Ledger family's honorable actions ensured that Matilda would not only be financially secure for the rest of her life, but more importantly, that she would be raised and supported by relatives who loved her immensely and deeply respected her mother. The resolution to name Matilda as the sole inheritor was a shining example of how Heath's family navigated unimaginable grief with grace, love, and purpose. This gesture powerfully demonstrated a collective belief that no amount of money, however significant, could ever substitute for the loving attention, moral compass, and tender care that are essential for a child's development. In bequeathing the entire estate to Matilda, the Ledger family decisively ensured that her upbringing would be founded upon a bedrock of financial security and profound personal grace. This decision also protected her from the complicated and often ugly legal battles that frequently plague the estates of highly successful public figures. The arrangement had the added effect of reinforcing the incredibly close bond between Michelle and Heath's family, creating a formidable, united front focused entirely on the child's best interests. Heath Ledger frequently made a point to highlight this closeness, telling reporters, "We are exceptionally close to Michelle and Matilda." This served as a public and heartfelt reassurance that the young girl would always be enveloped by a family that loved and fiercely protected her. A fifth critical figure in this story is Jeremy Strong, the celebrated actor acclaimed globally for his powerhouse performance in the series Succession. He shares a truly unique and deeply meaningful connection with Matilda Ledger, the daughter of Heath Ledger and Michelle Williams. Their bond is founded on more than just friendship. It was forged in a remarkable act of loyalty and compassion that emerged during the most agonizing period of Michelle and Matilda's lives. Strong's path first intersected with Heath Ledger's at the Williamstown Theater Festival back in the early 2000s. This meeting took place before the cinematic phenomenon of Brokeback Mountain launched Ledger to the heights of international fame. Their initial encounter quickly blossomed into a genuine friendship, one characterized by immense mutual respect and a shared passion for acting, creativity, and a good laugh. It was this very connection that would later prove to be an invaluable lifeline for Michelle and Matilda after Heath's tragic and untimely passing. When Heath died in 2008, Michelle described the months that followed as a period of overwhelming and profound emptiness. In an interview with Variety, she poignantly recalled, "There was just this gaping void in the house, so people started to move in. This incredible support network was made up of friends, colleagues, and loved ones. But among them all, Jeremy Strong's presence was uniquely significant. Unlike so many who offered brief, well-meaning condolences, Strong fully immersed himself in their lives in a way that was both incredibly practical and emotionally transformative. Over a span of roughly 3 years, he would stay with Michelle and Matilda on and off, becoming a regular presence in their home. He provided them with steadfast companionship, much-needed stability, and a sense of routine normalcy that the grieving mother found impossible to sustain by herself. Michelle has frequently spoken about the extraordinary nature of the relationship Jeremy built with her daughter Matilda. In interviews, she has often explained that he possessed a rare and perfect combination of qualities for the situation they faced. He had the maturity to shoulder the immense weight of a child's heartbreak, while also having the delicate sensitivity to connect with her through play, humor, and wild imagination. Michelle put it best, saying, "Jeremy was serious enough to hold the weight of a child's broken heart and sensitive enough to understand how to approach her through play and games and silliness." Michelle clarified that these moments of fun and games were not just simple distractions from their sorrow. They were truly essential acts of emotional support and caregiving, helping Matilda to navigate a difficult childhood that was shadowed by the profound absence of her father. Through shared laughter, imaginative adventures, and the simple, powerful act of just being present, Strong created a safe haven where Matilda could experience joy, curiosity, and love without any pressure or expectations. Michelle's subsequent reflections on the immense impact Jeremy had on their family served to underscore just how profoundly important and life-altering his presence was during their time of greatest need. Although Matilda never had the chance to be raised by her biological father, Michelle Williams revealed that she was fortunate enough to grow up with Jeremy Strong, a statement that beautifully encapsulates his role as a crucial, surrogate father figure who stepped into their world when they were most vulnerable. That single, poignant phrase conveys an entire world of meaning and gratitude. While no one could ever truly take the place of the late Heath Ledger, Jeremy Strong emerged as an incredibly stabilizing and deeply nurturing presence in their lives, effectively creating a vital bridge between devastating loss and the preservation of a child's precious innocence. Michelle further explained the depth of his impact, stating, "We were changed by his ability to play as though his life depended upon it, because hers did." Within this elegantly simple yet profoundly powerful declaration, she manages to capture the sheer scale of his dedication, which went far beyond that of a mere friend or casual family acquaintance. He was, in fact, someone who intrinsically understood the immense weight and responsibility of his role within the fragile emotional ecosystem of a young child grappling with tragedy. If you're wondering about how Matilda is navigating life today, Michelle offers a glowing update saying, "Witnessing Matilda grow into her own is a glorious miracle." During a remarkably open and honest discussion with The Guardian, Michelle Williams took time to reflect on the monumental cultural upheavals that were ignited by the hashtag #MeToo movement. She spoke at length about the profound effect this reckoning has had on the entire environment for young women, not just within the confines of Hollywood, but across society as a whole. For Michelle, these societal transformations are intensely personal, striking a chord that resonates not only with her own difficult experiences as a woman navigating a profession historically rife with power imbalances, but it also deeply connects with her fundamental role as a mother, raising her daughter in a world that is, however slowly, fundamentally and decisively remaking itself for the better. She specifically highlighted that the movement has been instrumental in helping to cultivate a new reality. She described it as a world that is inherently safer and more inclined in their direction than it was for me. This is a world where the next generation of women can confidently declare their presence, freely discover their true identities, and relentlessly chase their dreams without the constant, underlying dread or need for compromise that so heavily defined the early years of her own career. Michelle revealed that her perspective on this new era was sharpened significantly by her recent professional encounters. Her time on the set of The Fabelmans, where she had the opportunity to work closely with a much younger cohort of actors, was particularly eye-opening. She found herself genuinely amazed by the unwavering confidence, remarkable composure, and profound self-awareness. These young women possessed a stark and telling contrast to her own upbringing and early professional life. She confessed, "I did not possess any grace or calm, nor did any of my contemporaries. I was raised in the 80s. Selfhood wasn't put into young women, and now it is," she remarked, perfectly articulating the dramatic generational shift in both the availability of opportunities and the encouragement of personal empowerment. For Michelle, observing this incredible evolution is far more than a detached professional analysis of industry trends. It carries a deep emotional significance, acting as a hopeful mirror that reflects the kind of world she prays her own daughter will inherit and thrive in. This powerful sentiment became especially resonant and personal when Michelle turned her thoughts specifically to her own child, Matilda. "I get to see it in my own daughter, and I can't take my eyes off her. It is a glorious miracle to behold that I never thought I would witness in my lifetime," she expressed, her voice filled with a palpable sense of both astonishment and profound gratitude. For any mother who personally endured the relentless challenges and painful compromises of trying to build a career as a woman in the entertainment industry, this is a monumental change. To now see her daughter growing up in a cultural landscape that actively champions young women to seize their own agency and chase their ambitions without reservation is an outcome that feels nothing short of miraculous. Michelle's heartfelt reflection communicates more than just maternal pride. It conveys a deep and powerful sense of generational relief. It is a clear acknowledgement that the difficult battles she and her peers fought have successfully helped to pave the way for a brighter, safer, and far more equitable future for her beloved child. Diving deeper, Michelle elaborated on precisely how this movement has managed to completely overturn long-standing traditional expectations and crushing societal pressures. "I thought I would have to teach my daughter how to subvert herself and crawl underneath the system to keep herself safe," she candidly admitted. This was a direct reference to the complex and often demeaning strategies that women of her generation were forced to adopt simply to get by and achieve success in a hostile environment. However, in the transformative aftermath of the #MeToo movement, the content of those survival lessons has been radically and wonderfully altered. And instead, the system has exploded, and these young people act with compassion, integrity, and righteousness, Michelle observed. She noted with admiration that the young women of today are being empowered to engage with the world with an inspiring combination of steadfast confidence and unwavering moral clarity. They are no longer taught that they have to make themselves smaller in order to survive. On the contrary, they are learning to act with boldness, to behave ethically, and to be entirely unapologetic in the pursuit of their life's goals. Further illuminating this family story, back in April of 2017, Kate Ledger, Heath Ledger's beloved sister, shared her own heartfelt thoughts. She spoke to People magazine about the astonishing and often uncanny ways in which her niece, Matilda, continues to embody her late father's unique spirit. As Kate watched Matilda blossom over the years, she was consistently struck by the small, almost imperceptible mannerisms and habits that were perfect echoes of Heath, conjuring vivid memories of her brother in moments that were both tenderly sweet and strikingly real. "When Matilda picks up her pencil, it reminds me of Heath. When she walks, it reminds me of Heath. When she gets on her skateboard, it reminds me of Heath," she shared, listing the simple yet powerful resemblances. These mundane, everyday actions, which seem so ordinary to an outsider, are imbued with unique characteristics that serve as a living, breathing reflection of Heath's soul, imprinted upon his daughter, in ways that are both scientifically remarkable and emotionally staggering. For Kate, every single one of these resemblances acts as a precious, if sometimes painful, reminder. It's a reminder of the cherished brother she adored and lost tragically soon, a tangible link to her past that continues to profoundly influence and enrich her present. The powerful parallels between Matilda and her iconic father, however, go far beyond mere physical movements or quirky mannerisms. These similarities are also deeply embedded in her core personality traits, her boundless curiosity about the world, and a wonderfully subtle yet distinct sense of playful mischief that Heath famously carried with him throughout his entire life. Kate's observations reveal an almost mystical inheritance, where Matilda's very movements and personal habits seem to echo the distinct rhythms of her father's own childhood. This remarkable similarity can be seen in everything from the deep focus she applies to her drawing to the particular way she navigates the world around her. It is also evident in her enthusiastic willingness to embrace adventure and pure fun. These cherished traits serve as vibrant, living reminders of Heath's unforgettable character, beautifully preserved in the next generation. For the entire Ledger family, and especially for his sister Kate, these small but powerful moments provide a profound source of solace and comfort. They also create an overwhelming sense of continuity, offering a tangible way for them to feel close to Heath's spirit, even years after his passing. Kate has made it her personal mission to ensure her brother's memory stays brilliantly alive for Matilda, viewing it as both a solemn family responsibility and a deeply intimate gift. She understands with perfect clarity that while Matilda will never have the chance to experience life directly with her father by her side, an unbreakable bond can still be forged. Matilda can come to know him intimately through the power of stories, the echo of his laughter, and the many shared recollections held dear by the family. "I tell her all about her daddy every single time we see each other," Kate has warmly explained. These cherished narratives span a wide spectrum, from the utterly lighthearted to the truly formative, offering precious glimpses into Heath's complex personality, his unique sense of humor, and the important relationships that help shape him. She often recounts detailed anecdotes from their youth together, including the wonderfully mischievous games he used to invent and play. One such story involves him playfully chasing Kate with a cricket bat, a memory that paints a vivid portrait of a young boy overflowing with boundless energy, a wild imagination, and an undeniable charm. These shared memories are so much more than mere entertainment. They are powerful acts of legacy preservation, a dedicated method for ensuring that Matilda knows her father not as a memory, but as a living, breathing presence in her heart. Matilda's family life has expanded, and she now has 3 younger half-siblings from her mother's marriage to Thomas Cale, with their youngest child welcomed via surrogate earlier in 2026. Despite the demands of a growing family, Michelle has been adamant that her top priority is creating a supportive, nurturing, and balanced environment for all of her children, especially as Matilda approaches her adult years. Friends and sources close to the family often remark that Michelle has moved heaven and earth to preserve a genuine sense of normalcy for her daughter. This constant effort is focused on making sure she feels empowered to make her own choices in life, completely free from the crushing pressures and expectations of fame. Consequently, public sightings of Matilda remain incredibly rare. However, in September of 2026, she was spotted enjoying a simple day, riding her bike, and shopping around New York City, where she resides with her family. Observers noted that she appeared entirely relaxed and wonderfully carefree, perfectly embodying the confident and independent young woman she is growing into. While specific information about her education, future career plans, or her personal life remains completely private, there is a gratifying and widespread respect for her privacy. Everyone close to the Ledger and Williams families seems fiercely committed to protecting her from any unnecessary public intrusion, which allows her to step into her own adulthood at a natural and comfortable pace. What are your thoughts on how Heath Ledger's legacy continues through his daughter? Please feel free to leave us your comments in the section down below. We sincerely hope you found this story to be insightful. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like, share this with others, and subscribe for more content. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video. Goodbye for now.